Welcome to Exposing Workplace Bullying, where we pull back the curtain and have real conversations about workplace abuse. This is Episode 8, Reclaiming Your Power, the Truth Beyond Survival. I'm your host, Dr. Jan Kircher. Looking back on this first season, we've navigated the difficult terrain of surviving workplace bullying. We started by learning to identify the subtle signs, the confusion, the isolation that so many miss. We opened the bully's playbook to understand that the tactics are not random, they're intentional to hurt and harm us. We face the profound toll it takes on your health, your work, your home life, and even your spirit. Then, we move from understanding to action. We talked about documentation, not as a dirty word, but as a tool for clarity. We strategized about how to reclaim power when the system is failing you. And we were brutally honest about what they don't tell you about reporting. We did all this because I know from my own experience how workplace bullying wears you down and makes you question your own reality. So for this final episode, we're pulling all those threads together. We've identified the monster in the room. Now, it's time to talk about how you build your strength after the battle. How do you move from surviving to rebuilding in workplace bullying? This is the question we'll answer. The first step is to see the battlefield clearly. This is not conflict between you and your bully. It's a systematic organizational problem. When you understand that there is nothing wrong with you, that you are facing a bully and a complicit system, you can stop immediately blaming yourself. That belief is the foundation. Moving from survival to rebuilding begins when you believe it. And on that new foundation, you can build a realistic game plan for an environment that is not fair, bully culture, but one that you're continuing to work in. But most people get the plan wrong. They think documenting and reporting is the plan. It's not, because you're not working in a normal, healthy workplace. Using that only as your game plan is just asking for more escalation, more bullying, and more harm. If you were in a healthy workplace, bullying would have been shut down already. You're in an abusive work environment, and you need a better plan than document and report for that. That means coming to terms with the fact that the bully and damn near everyone else is out to get you, or at the very least will protect themselves before they protect you. So if you want to fight back, you have to become an expert in strategizing. And strategizing is not about stopping the bully outright. It's responding in ways that reduce your vulnerability and harm to bullying, to protect yourself and keep you as safe as possible in a bully culture. So let's talk about what workplace strategizing looks like in practice. Workplace strategies are ones that help reduce your vulnerability to harm and keep you steady even when you can't stop the bullying outright. Shifting your focus away from stopping the bully, which you can't control and never could, and onto your own strategizing helped you put your energy into what you can control. You might think of these as workplace self-defense strategies. Part of your defense is knowing what not to do. It's tempting to mimic the bully's behavior, to get defensive, to argue for point, or to escalate when they push you. But those reactions usually backfire. They end up giving the bully more material to use against you and can leave you looking like the problem to human resources and your boss. And this applies whether the bullying is face-to-face, verbal, or written. The reality is bullies stack tactics upon tactics to increase the harm and hurt for you. So your defense can't be one-dimensional. You can't just use silence as a strategy every time the bully comes at you. You need a versatile set of strategies in your workplace self-defense toolkit because how you react or respond makes a huge difference. Looking back, I know there were a lot of times that I reacted to the bullying at the cost of my own personal and professional detriment. Yes, I was the one being bullied, but my reactions often made it worse. When I'd CC'd my boss about something, and then she would yell at me. And if I had simply stopped engaging, instead, I would have reduced the amount of cyberbullying I experienced, and I would have looked stronger and more professional in the process. I often played right into the bully's hands without even realizing it. Part of rebuilding is realizing how the bully is manipulating you to react. They don't want you to think about your own safety. They want you focused entirely on them. But strategizing is how you refocus on you. It's a reminder of how important you are. Strategizing is always about your safety first. It's about protecting your mental health, your professional reputation, and your ability to keep showing up. That means grounding yourself before and during difficult moments. It means carrying yourself with confident body language even when you feel shaken inside. It means leaning into assertive but contained communication, responses that set boundaries without spiraling into a shouting match, or using microscripts, short, practice phrases you can use in the moment to shut down the harmful behavior without over-explaining. You also need disengagement strategies like silence, redirecting, or physically leaving and getting out of situations that have the potential to blow up. Direct tools like the broken record technique, assertive questioning, or the sandwich method let you be clear and firm while keeping control of the exchange. And for the situation where nothing else works, methods like the gray rock, making yourself as uninteresting as possible, can reduce the bully's incentive to keep coming after you. And here's one thing about strategies. You have to try them to see if they work. There isn't a perfect script or a one method that solves it all. Sometimes a microscript shuts down the bully. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes disengaging keeps you safe. Other times, direct communication is better. You learn by testing, by noticing what reduces the harm and what doesn't. The goal is not to be flawless or to always have the perfect response. The goal is to build a set of strategizing tools you can pull from and adjust as you go. Because when you are working in a bully culture, protecting yourself takes experimentation. You find what helps you walk away feeling steady, and you leave behind what doesn't. And here's the other thing. There isn't a right way. There's only your way. The things you decide to try, the strategies you want to test to see if they help. I recently talked with someone who said, "I'd like to do a strategy call with you, Jan, but I'm not leaving my job. If you're going to tell me I have to leave, I don't want to talk to you." And my response was simple. Leaving is up to you. You still have the right to self-determination. That means you make the decisions that are best for you. That's the same thing with every strategy. Nobody else gets to dictate what's correct for you, the best way for you to respond to bullying. You get to choose the approaches, the strategies, and the tactics that make the most sense for you in your situation and at your pace. I wish I could promise you that this will definitely get better, but I can't because the system is broken. But you are not. The most radical thing you can do is to stop begging a broken system for justice and start building your own fortress of self-protection. My fortress of protection was built when I stopped caring about what anybody thought of me at work, and I really doubled down on the things I loved at work. Working with students, and yes, you guessed it, researching and writing about workplace bullying. I just showed up, did the best I could, and I unplugged 100% from the bullying. My hope is that this podcast has helped you discover it too, that you have a renewed sense of power and the knowledge that you are not the problem. We've worked to name the abuse, strip away the excuses, and build a game plan for your safety. My hope is that it helps you unplug from the blame and fortify yourself. But arming yourself leads to the next big question. In a workplace like that, is there anyone you can truly count on? That's exactly what we're going to explore in Season 2, The Bystander Effect. After a short 2-week break, we'll be back to pull back the curtain on the coworkers, managers, and HR who seem to just sit by and watch. Because the truth is, silence is never neutral. Thank you so much for being part of this fight. I'm so grateful for you and that you were here for the first season. Thank you again for listening. If this episode hit home, check out StopBullyCulture.com, where I share tools, resources, and real talk to help you deal with workplace abuse. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them. Until next time.
They gaslight and plot, play their games. Witness a smile, you're part of the shame. Your boss stays silent, closing the door. How many voices will they ignore? The bully lies, the brave get burned. The office watches, no lessons learned. Your boss hides, truth gets colder. It's time to stop the bully culture.